A Tale of Valour Major Somnath Sharma is October 1947. India has just gained its independence, but the geopolitical climate is incredibly tense, and a massive threat is already brewing on its newly drawn borders. Looking at this map of Kashmir region, we can see the trajectory of Pakistan Operation Gulmarg. 500 heavily armed infiltrators are advancing rapidly, and their target is precise the Srinagar airfield. In response, the Indian military launches an immediate airlift. Troops are rushed directly onto the tarmac at Srinagar to secure the valley before the invasion force arrives. At this moment, land routes are heavily compromised. Controlling this signal strip of tarmac equates to absolute control over the entire Kashmir Valley. Whoever holds the airport holds the region. The topographical map highlights the vulnerability of the Indian defense. D Company patrols Badgan village, a dangerously high elevation directly overlooking the airfield. The data has outlines a severe tactical nightmare against D Company's 90 soldiers. 500 infiltrators are marching up the elevation. Leading these 19 men is Major Somnath Sharma. He is 24 years old and he is heading into the fight with a fractured left hand completely wrapped in a plaster cast. Medical officers order him to rest. He flatly refused. He didn't go to action. They wouldn't go without him. Facing a massive numerical disadvantage and carrying a physical handicap, a young commander chooses to reject safety and lead his men directly into winnable scenario. To understand the decision, we have to look at how a soldier like this is built. Major Sharma was born into a deep military lineage. His father, Major General Amarnath Sharma, had a long career serving the country, but his strongest ideological foundation came from his grandfather, who spent Sharma's childhood telling him epic stories from Mahabharata. Those narratives ingrained in him a profound, unshakable sense of duty. That childhood ideology was then forged into intense tactical discipline at Sherwood College and the Royal Military College at Sandhurst. He learned the precise mechanics of war and the rigid requirements of leadership. His actions in 1947 were the result of a lifetime of strict military conditioning layered over a deeply ingrained empathy for his men. On November 3rd, 1947, the infiltrators initiate contact. A sudden chaotic barrage of mortar and gunfire rains down on D Company's trench line. In the middle of this chaos, Major Sharma initially recognizes a tactical pattern. He identifies that this initial volley is a distraction designed to cover a much larger flanking maneuver from the other side. Knowing the true threat, he sprints out of his trench and into the open field to manually lay ground panels, directing Indian aircraft to target the actual enemy positions. With the crossfire intensifying, he runs back and forth between his positions. Using his one good arm, he manually loads magazines for his machine guns, keeping their fire rate up and their morale intact. He is applying the rigorous tactical training he learned at Sandhurst while physically putting himself on the line for his shoulders, executing the selfless duty he absorbed from his grandfather. The situation deteriorates rapidly. D Company's ammunition is nearly depleted. Seeing the impending overrun, brigade headquarters orders an immediate retreat. Major Sharma gets on the radio for what will be his final transmission. He reports that the enemy is only 50 yards away, and then he states clearly he will not withdraw a single inch and he will fight to the last man and the last round. Moments later, while crouching in a trench to assist a machine gunner, a mortar shell strikes his position. He is killed instantly. He died exactly the way he commanded. He led from the front, prioritized the survival of his troops over his own, and protected his men until his final moment. Losing a commanding officer usually shatters a unit's morale, but for the remaining 19 men of D Company, his death does the exact opposite. It ignites a furious resolve. Without the major, the heavily outnumbered company refuses to yield. They hold their position for 6 grueling hours, ultimately inflicting over 300 casualties on the invading force. Those 6 hours are the hinge of the entire conflict. That specific delay gave the Indian forces exactly enough time to reach Srinagar from the airfield, securing the city and saving the valley from capture. India's highest military decoration is the Param Vir Chakra. It is awarded strictly for extreme bravery and self sacrifice in the direct presence of the enemy. For his actions at Badgam, Major Somnath Sharma became the very first individual in the nation's history to receive this honor, awarded posthumously. Today, his name holds a permanent place of honor on the walls of the National War Memorial. True courage is rarely spontaneous. It is a lifelong commitment to discipline and duty, a foundation that prepares you to stand entirely firm when the impossible arrives. Thank you.